Dr. P. Nagaraj. He is currently working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry, Anna University, Chennai. Earlier, he worked as a scientist in charge at Spices Board of India for 5 years in research and development and also in quality control laboratory. He has finished his PhD in organic chemistry at IIT Delhi. He has also done his MSc Chemical Science at Pondicherry Central University. He has published 6 papers in international journal and also participated several international events in India and abroad. He has attended several conferences and delivered lecture as keynote speaker and also undergone 12 training programs. His area of research interests are isolation, synthesis of natural products and evaluation of their biological activities, carbohydrate-based natural product synthesis, enzyme catalyst organic synthesis, green chemistry, medicinal aspects of spices and spice products.
Welcome to UGC lecture series in Polymer Science. Today lecture we are going to study about types of fiber material, especially the fiber material obtained from bast or leaf. That material we are going to study in details. Content of today lecture is types of fiber materials available in nature and availability of fibers and its applications, various types and properties of fiber material especially from bast and leaf. Bast fiber, I already previous class explained. The bast are soft fibers, are thick walled cells from dicotyledonous plants. The fibers seems to support the phloem cells. Fibers may be up to 2 meters long and are usually isolated by retting. Most can be bleached or dyed. So, in the previous lecture I already discussed about retting, the process, the fiber material which will be either wetted or dipped under water. So, what will happen other than fiber material, everything will be consumed by microorganism only, it will not attack the fiber material. So, we are in the process of cleaning or purification done under water. So, we will get only pure fiber material, that process is called retting. So, this bast fiber which is obtained from retting process, and jute, one of the famous fiber material which is belongs to bast fiber class. Jute is the most common bast fiber and it is second only to cotton in terms of production. So, jute is the one of the very important essential fiber which is widely used other than cotton, which is second in ranking. So, the uses and production which is higher in case of compared to cotton which is lesser, second highest in case of production, whereas jute is widely used for sacking and similar material. The species is native to the Mediterranean from where it spread throughout the near and far east. The plants are herbaceous annuals. So, this is not commonly available all over the world, selective specific countries the jute will be produced. So, jute fibers do not hold up to well because they are brittle, and today most jute comes from India, China and Bangladesh. So, jute fiber it is not that much strong enough as a single fiber. If you combine together more number of fibers, then the strength gets enhanced. I already discussed the production of jute, especially India, China and Bangladesh. India itself probably the northeast or the West Bengal region will be most available this jute production compared to other part of India. So, this is the plant. So, jute which is shown here both the picture, the stem which is especially used for fiber material. Another class of fiber is flax. Flax is one of the oldest fibers used by man. It was used at least 10,000 years ago by the Swiss lake dwellers, and Egyptian mummies were wrapped in linen 5,000 years ago. Carvings and paintings in their tombs documents its cultivation. That means, this flax material which is not a new one, which is having very big or long history, which is known in 10,000 years back, and this material used for painting and decorating items, especially in 5000 years ago. The Greeks and the Romans also used linen, and the Romans spread its use throughout Europe. So, Roman country which is used first, then they are spread all over Europe for this flax material. And although flax originated in the Near East, it is not known to occur in the wild today, and in exact site of origin is not known. So, which is already used in all over world, but the origin of the plant which is not known so far, especially which is in the case of Europe countries, but the origin still is a question. So, here the plant which is shown here, this is the field where flax which is cultivated, a single plant shown here. This kind of material used for getting fibers. The fibers are straight and 2 to 3 times as strong as cotton. So, stability wise or strength wise, this flax fiber which is higher strength than cotton, especially the stability or strength which is 2 to 3 times higher. So, that means this is a more stronger fiber than cotton and other material. The cultivation of flax was very important in much of Europe until replaced by other fibers. So, which is having long history, more than 10,000 years or 5,000 years. So, earlier the people cultivate only this kind of flax material compared to other fibers. Now, recently some of the fibers which is replaced this material. Cotton only replaced linen in 1800. So, before that only this fiber material was used, flax material. Later 1800 only the cotton which is replaced this flax material. Again this is having very good strength, 2 to 3 times higher strength than the existing cotton material. Cotton has replaced linen mostly because of economics. It is easier and cheaper to grow and utilize. That is the reason cotton which is replaced the linen material or flax material, because as an economic point of view, the production as well as availability or post harvesting procedure which is easy in case of cotton compared to this flax material. That is why this cotton material which is replaced flax material. Hand processed flax is usually of much better quality than machine processed. So, again processing, in case of processing, hand or machine both can be used. In case of hand processed material having more advantages or more good properties rather than machine made processed flax. Basically, flax and linen have comes too expensive for common use in most part of the world. So, the drawback here in case of flax fiber, which is costly quite compared to other fiber material. So, this is because of this costly nature. So, the usage or availability of this material quite low, not only from India, all over the world, which is the availability is less. Once the availability is less, automatically cost will get increased. Flax is often rotted in the field. Retting flax also causes tremendous pollution problems, and it is seldom done today in Western Europe. So, what happens? Retting, we already discussed, the fiber material which will be dipped or soaked into the water, and due to microorganism or fungus attack, bacteria, other than fiber material, everything will be consumed or removed from the fiber. So, we can separate fiber from the non-fiber material. So, what will happen? It will induce pollution. So, because that material will be smell will be very bad, which everywhere it will be there, then automatically the pollution will get enhanced. And both Belgium and Ireland import most of their flax from Poland and the former Soviet Union. So, the production of this flax is Soviet Union and Poland will be very high. Belgium and Ireland will be importing the material. China is another major producer of flax material. Another class of fiber is hemp. True hemp comes from the same plant as marijuana. The plant has mostly been grown as a fiber and has been cultivated since prehistoric times. It was grown in China as early as 4000 BC. So, marijuana plant which will give the fiber, which is again having very old history, most probably which is produced in China, especially the origin of this material 4000 years BC, that means very long ago from the material which has been used. The fibers are extracted by retting, again the same process I already discussed what is retting, and scorching and pounding. Three way we can separate the fiber material from the whole material or plant material. Typically hemp is used for the cordage, rope, canvas and sailcloth. Jeans were originally made from hemp cloth. So, this is the application point of view, this material which is used in wide application, especially in the field of cordage, rope, canvas and sailcloth, especially jeans which is made from this kind of cloth. Most hemp fiber today comes from USSR and India. So, United Soviet Russia, that means now which is Russia, and India which is a major producer of this hemp fiber compared to other part of the world. The plant which is shown here in the picture, this is a hemp, this material, plant material, from there the stem or this part will be used as a fiber. Another class of fiber which is leaf or hard fibers, the fiber which is produced from leaf, especially the widespread use of this fiber is fairly recent, as they are comprised of vascular system. The cells are small and bound together by pectins. They cannot be isolated by retting. So, this is a totally different kind of things. Pectin, which is a layer of plant material in the leaf, especially this we can't use the same method what we used in the earlier separation of fiber like rettings. This method will undergo some other method in order to get our fiber material. They are decorticated. The fibers are too stiff to be used to make fabrics. They make better quality ropes than bast fibers. So, here we can make rope which we can make very best quality, that means the property, stability and hardness of the property which is get enhanced compared to our previously made bast fiber. Compared to bast fiber, leaf fiber having more advantages, and most good quality hard fibers come from agave or musa. These two types of again plants, the botanical name given here, which is used for getting this kind of leaf fibers. Another class is sisal and henequin. Sisal comes from the leaves of agava sisalana and henequin from the leaves of furosidoids. They are native to Mexico and Central America, and are Mayas and Aztecs used them to make crude fabrics. The spines of the plant were used for needles. So, this is getting these two fibers especially from Mexico and Central America, which is they are getting as a crude fiber, which again have to do some process in order to get good fiber. Again the processing will make certain steps to get the quality of fiber. Here given the picture where sisal which is cultivated in Mexico, the leaf which is harvested and put it in the sunlight, and from there they are getting the fiber material. So, this is how the harvesting and the transporting of sisal leaves which is obtained from Mexico, which is shown in the picture, the harvesting process here and the transporting process also shown here. The leaves are cut at the base, carried to the factory, rolled and water squeezed out, and the other mushy tissues scraped away from the fiber. First step, they are cutting the fiber and they are removing the unwanted things and especially water content from the leaves, and they are going for other mushy tissues, whatever may present, everything should be completely removed. The fibers are then washed and hung out in the sun. They can be dyed directly. So, what happen after removing the water and unwanted things, they are hanging into the putting drying purpose, where they are keeping it in the sunlight, and it may be directly whatever color you want add onto it, you will get proper dyeing process. So, this is way decorticating leaves of sisal using machine, they are making like this, and this how they are whatever sisal fiber getting from sisal, which is dried over sunlight, and this is the fiber they are getting finally. Again processing, this is how the fiber material which is injected into the pressing machine, and finally they are getting this kind of fiber material from sisal fiber. Although the henequen is still mostly grown in Mexico, sisal is now cultivated in many parts of the world. Sisal is important in Brazil, East Africa, Madagascar and other arid areas. That means this sisal can grow in the dry area, means less water content area, there it can produce, which is having very good fiber content, which can make useful of lot of fiber material. Another class is abaca or Manila hemp, musa, that means from banana, that plant category will come under this musa. Abaca is native to Southeast Asia. The fiber come mostly from the leaf bases. The plant is now grown in many parts of the tropics. Tropics means which is a temperature higher level of the country. It is used to make things such as manila, envelopes as well as cloth. The fibers are isolated in much the same way as those of sisal and henequen. So, this is a same class of family, and the process everything will be same like a sisal, and this is having this will grow in tropical, that means temperature high area it will grow, like water content also required very less amount compared to sisal, which require more amount of water, but normally compared to other plants which is required only less amount of water. The picture shown here. So, abaca, the leaf which is again they are getting fiber from the leaf material. The fiber which is shown here, which is dried under sunlight, after getting the fiber we can make it like a rope, or whatever way we want to make it, we can use it. Another class which is broom corn, generally known as sorghum, which is again another class of fiber material. It is used to make brushes and brooms. For these two purpose, this material which is they are using. Fibers from palms. Many types of fibers are isolated from palms in the tropics. Tropic means is a very high temperature country. Pisava fiber is a coarse, tough and water resistant fiber used for brushes, brooms, mats and cordage. It comes from several species of palms. Kirin vegetal comes from a small fan palm, and that is common in northwestern Africa. This is a palm tree, the name is green vegetal. From there also people are getting fiber material. Again palmetto is another class of fiberic material. Palmettos were used by many American Indian in the southeastern US as a source of fiber and for construction of houses. Using this, people can make small kind of cot or houses. So, this material used in especially people who are poor people can make their house which is made up of these kind of fibers. Next class of fiber we will already discussed. All fabrics are made from tiny hair like a structure called fibers. They are either staple, staple means short, or filament long fibers. That range will vary according to the plant material. It may be 2 centimeter to 2 meters, the length can vary, and there are 3 main groups of fibers, again animal based fibers, plant based fibers and synthetic fibers. In case of animal based fibers will come under this category like wool, silk and alpaca. In case of plant based fibers, cotton, linen, etc. Other class of fibers which is synthetic fibers, also known as man made fibers from byproducts of oil like acrylic oil. Regenerated fibers are made from a combination of chemicals and cellulose waste like a viscose model. Regenerated means the material which is going to be waste, that material we can use it for making this kind of fiber, especially cellulose. Cellulose material which is having large quantity of fiber content. Cellulose, if you are treating with some chemicals, you can get a fiberic material. If you are depend upon nature of the chemical, you can change the nature of the fiber content using with cellulose. This is again yarns, which is a different kind of fiber material. The individual fibers are weak, but if you put them together and make a yarn, they become much stronger. So, that is what I already discussed. So, yarn material which is a very strong fiber material, if small fiber which will be having very less strength or which is can easily break down, but if you are making it 2-3 fiber material together, which will make yarns which is relatively more stable, and that can be used for some mechanical purpose. And the yarns are made by spinning and twisting fibers together. So, you are making like a thread like this kind of fiber, you have to do this kind of two things. First one is twisting and another one is spinning, then only you can make this kind of thread like material from simple fiber. The worsted system produces smooth yarn, whilst the woolen spinning system produces a more hairy yarn. So, the two way we can make yarn material. This worsted will produce smooth, and in case of whilst woolen spinning will produce hairy yarn. So, whatever purpose we are going to use, based on that we can make the yarn material. Normally the fiber material which will be having very less strength, if you want to make it more hard or more strength, you can do it make 2-3 fiber material together by spinning or twisting. These two method you can make it strong fiber that can be used for some mechanical purpose. Again the yarns which is shown here, this kind of two fiber material, this is S twist and Z twist, which can be combined together to produce very big or more strength fiber material, generally known as yarns. The fibers can be spun in one of the two ways. Number one is S twist anti-clockwise or Z twist which is a clockwise. The rotation means fiber, if you are making fiber means taking fiber material to make it yarn, you can do it two way. One is clockwise or counterclockwise. If it is S means it is counterclockwise or anti-clockwise, and Z is clockwise. So, both way you can make it yarns, and this long length are wound into spools or cones. We can shape whatever shape we can make like spools or cones. There are many different types of yarn, including spun, folded, plied, complex and fancy. Bulk yarns are heavier and chunkier and are often used for hats, scarves and sweaters. So, if you are making one more, you are taking this is a fiber material and making similar material get together, either S twist or Z twist, you can make more thicker material which is having additional stability and strength. Whatever way you want, you can get from this material. Another class is knitted fabrics, which is are made by forming the yarn into loops. This is yarn, you can make it as a loop, means getting together inside, so that the more cross linking will be there between these two fiber material. So, the additional strength stability gets enhanced. These loops are elastic and the fabric is therefore stretchy. Further elasticity can be added through elastane. if you want to make this yarn material or fiber material which is elastic, means you can do this process. If you want, again you can increase the elasticity. Elasticity is the property where if you are giving more heavy stress, the material can withhold or withstand the stress. Knitted fabrics are warm, and this can be improved by brushing the fabric as in fleece. So, this way you can improve the properties of knitted fabrics. This is again types of knit. Two types we already discussed. One is weft and another one is wrap knights. This is having horizontal rows of knitted yarn. This is having interlocked loops or chain vertically up and down the fabric. So, compared to this one having cross linking or interlocking, that means which is having more stability, the density or thickness which is higher in case of this one. And next is have horizontal ribs on the wrong side, can only be machine made. So, it is not a man made one, which is can be made from machine. Have a V shaped loops, are less elastic and tend to be firmer fabric. Have interlocking loops above and below each row. Here keeping the shape and do not usually ladder when cut. And examples for this weft knights are fleece fabrics, single jersey like in t-shirts, whereas in case of wrap knights lightweight fabrics like net and lace. So, this is the difference between weft knights and wrap knights. Another class of fabrics which is woven fabrics, the picture shown here, the cross linking is there between each fiber material. Woven fabrics are constructed from interlocking threads or yarns. They are made on weaving loom. So, this is what interlocking, one chain will go like this fabric or fibers, and another one will come cross linking. So, the stability of entire fiber material will be maximum. It can withhold the mechanical stability. Woven fabrics are made up of again weft yarns or wrap yarns which run horizontally, another one is run vertically. This is if you consider vertical, another one row will be horizontal. Woven fabrics fray easily, are strongest along the straight grain of the fabric, lack elasticity. If you are doing this kind of process like a horizontal vertical, what will happen? The elasticity property will reduce or decrease. Are stronger and firmer the closer the wave. Woven fabrics have selvage and edge that will not fray, bias a diagonal or grass grain. This is what. So, normally what will happen, this kind of woven fabrics, the additional strength stability will increase. What happened, the elasticity will not be there, or the elasticity will decrease compared to previous method of making this fiber. So, as a summary, we have studied in this lecture like fiber types of material, especially from bast fiber and leaf fiber. Bast fiber are soft relatively compared to leaf fiber, which are hard. Examples we have studied, maybe 3-4 examples in each class, and their availability that we have studied in detail, and the properties of fiber also we studied, and the raw material of fibers from bast and leaf that we studied in our this lecture. This is the question: what are type of fibers present? Raw material for fibers, types of fibers and its availability and processing. Important of bast and leaf fibers I explain. Within this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.